I'm traveling to the Pryor Mountains of Montana today in search of one of the most extraordinary herds of wild horses in the world. These mountains rise up from the desert to nearly 9,000 feet, and it's here, upon this island in the sky, that we will find horses living amongst the clouds. Traveling here is no small undertaking. The Pryor Mountains requires a commitment of time and effort.
So you gotta check out this sign I just found. I can interpret this. What it's really saying is, Jared, you should definitely drive this road.
It's 3 hours of dirt roads, 3 hours of mud and ruts and rocks and ledges and obstacles that will test your four-wheel drive vehicle. But really, that's the fun of it. The thing I love most about the West is that it's still a place of wide open spaces. This is a world that we can still get lost in, that we can discover things, that we can explore. Here at the top of the world, towering above the surrounding landscape, we can find that magic that our ancestors once knew. After 3 hours of driving, we finally made it up here to the top of the Pryor Mountains. And man, it is absolutely spectacular. The bug spray doesn't do anything. God. Are atrocious. So even though I haven't made it to the wild horse management area just yet, I wanted to go ahead and stop here because off to the side of the Jeep trail that I've been following on, I actually found a family of yellow-bellied marmots living inside of one of the rock outcroppings. If you've ever heard of a groundhog before, for all of you East Coast folks, it's basically the same thing. That's just an eastern species. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill this video. I'm gonna throw the 600mm on my camera here, and I'm gonna kind of try and sneak into position, get a little bit of video, and get a few photographs as well. These marmots often get ignored by most photographers, but they're actually one of the toughest little mammals on the planet. They're one of the few that have actually figured out how to survive above tree line year-round. So I've made it up to the top of the mountain here, and it's starting to get dark on me already, which is kind of to be expected given how long it takes to get up to this place. And I'm going to be honest with you, of course I went slow. Of course I took time to stop and smell the roses, or wood roses and fireweed and mule's ear and all the other flowers on the way up here. But I'm just going to go ahead and call it quits for the night, find a place to set up camp, and I'm going to start again tomorrow morning. The last I saw, tomorrow's forecast was thunderstorms all day, so hopefully I can make this work. If not, it's going to be a whole lot of laying in the back of my truck reading books. decision not to camp out on top of the ridge where the horses are. And that actually proved to be pretty wise because I got hammered by lightning storms all night long. And these horses, they don't spend the night up here a lot of times either. As soon as they start to feel that barometric pressure changing, kind of telling them that there's a storm coming in, they take off. They move down the mountainside as well, just like I did last night. And so the last thing I wanted to do was be the tallest thing out on top of this plateau here as lightning was popping off all around me. So I came down about 500 to 1,000 feet or so and kind of tucked myself up into a forest of Douglas fir trees, and that proved to be a pretty wise choice, I think. But it's pretty amazing out here right now. It's the sun hasn't risen just yet. It's still early in the morning. I'm shooting with pretty high ISO just to be able to make this video happen. And it's cold outside. It doesn't matter that it's July and that it was 106 degrees when I started up this mountain yesterday down in the desert. Up here this morning, I mean, it's got to be 35 degrees right now. So I think it's time to get some coffee going here, and then I'm going to head back up the mountain and we're going to photograph some horses today. So that was probably enough right there to convince you that this is definitely a place you have to experience for yourself. If I showed you any more, it'd take the mystery out of the whole thing. And then what reason would you have to lock your vehicle in four-wheel drive and spend 3 hours climbing up that mountain to camp out and photograph those horses yourself?
When I said stop,